Good afternoon, YouTube viewers and subscribers. So on my table today I've got two engines that I'm basically going to call cousins. They have some ties back to K&B and to a gentleman named Clarence Lee, who many of you probably have heard of. The first engine here is the HB61 engine that Reese just sent to me for some runs and stuff. And the second engine is one that I picked up just recently. It's a K&B 61, a Series 75 engine. Now, the K&B, Vico, and HB engines are all semi-related in that they're all connected in some means to K&B and Clarence Lee. And I'm going to put some links to some engine reviews on here, and hopefully you can kind of discern, and a link to a Clarence Lee article. Hopefully you can kind of discern the relationship. I've read it a few times and I'm still not sure I quite understand it. All I know is that they have these things in common. Even though these two engines don't look similar in construction, as far as this is it's got a two-piece front casting, and this is a single piece. I have seen the Veco 61 engine that looks like this in a review, and I've also seen Veco 61 engines that look like this with a single piece casting. So I kind of figured I would show these two engines together because I'm probably going to try and run them close to the same time, because they're all from about the same time period of the early 70s. Now, this K&B engine, as you can see, I didn't pay a whole heck of a lot for this engine. I've seen these things go for, pretty, I would say moderate cost. I didn't pay a lot for this engine. It was a used engine. And when it came to me, it originally had this peri-carb on it, which is not uncommon because I've seen pictures and reviews with K&B engines, and a lot of times they'll have a peri-carb on them. But I did actually go online to RC Groups and made a wanted ad looking for the actual K&B 61 carb. I don't recall the part number now, that actually was on the original, or at least one iteration of this engine. I think it may have been the original, but I don't know. Got that, and a really cool gentleman contacted me and said he had one that was in good shape, and the rest is history. I've got it. Now, the thing with this engine is I've actually run this already, not on video, because I was just kind of playing around, and quite honestly at the time I just didn't really feel like turning on a video. But it came initially with this peri-carb, and these peri-carbs date back to the 70s and stuff like that, and they're very good carbs. I don't have a ton of experience with them. Let me just zoom in here a bit so you can kind of get a better look. This is what a typical peri-carb looks like. It's got a mixture disc here, the high-speed needle, and then a mixture disc, and then of course the throttle stop screw, which is always good. This particular one looks like it's got a throttle arm that could be a linkage to one of those baffled exhausts. So this looks to be kind of like a pretty early peri-carb. But like I said, it came on this engine, and I've run it with this, and I tuned it with this, and it was okay. I mean, like I said, I don't have a ton of experience with peri-carbs, and quite honestly, I really prefer not to use them, just because turning this mixture disc, I've had several, and it can be very tight, and it's not really something that's conducive to trying to rotate while the engine is running. I like to do my low speed adjustments while the engine is running so I can hear the impact. This almost kind of dictates that you have to shut it down, make a minute adjustment, and then start it up again. And these peri-carbs, the mixture disc here, is very, very sensitive. I don't think it has a very wide range of tuning or turning, but it is quite sensitive. Just a couple of degrees makes a big difference. So anyway, I had it tuned, and it was running pretty well on that carb. And then I got this carb in the mail, and I've actually run the engine and tuned it with this carb too. And quite honestly, this is a little bit easier because it's a twin needle carb, and I can kind of get in there with a wrench or a screwdriver while it's running. So anyway, I've run this. I haven't made any videos of it yet, but I will here very soon, because I kind of want to try and see if I can't coincide runs and videos nearly the same day, if not the same day, with both of these engines, because they're so closely related in time, and they're both cross-flow scavenged engines. They're not Schnurl ported engines, that type of thing. So I thought it would be a pretty good comparison. And as I mentioned in my surprise mail day video, you know, these two engines share, I could put these exhausts on either engine because they share the same outside dimensions, screw widths. Now I think the screws that go into this HB exhaust are a different thread than what you would find here, so the screws are probably not interchangeable, but the exhausts are completely interchangeable. So anyway, I thought I'd kind of do a quick video showing these engines, and some of you might say, why do you have this on the crankshaft? Well, the reason I've got some masking tape on the crankshaft is the only 11.7 prop that I've got is reamed out a little bit larger than the crankshaft of this engine. So what I typically do when I have a situation like that is I'll just wrap some masking tape around there and make it fit nice so that it's not off center. But anyway, so look for some runs of these two engines, hopefully on the same day, hopefully with static thrust. I've got a couple of changes that I'm going to be making on my static thrust here very soon also, so I may hold off doing any static thrust readings until these new changes are put in place. And of course I'll most likely make a video showing what I'm doing also, because that's typically what I like to do. But anyway, I thought I'd kind of give you a quick idea or a quick video here showing these two engines and their lineage and connection to each other, and hopefully we'll get some good comparisons between the two.